Rejoice.
Should start drinking whiskey. Maybe we get to a couple seasons of this.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross
Test my
country,
wireless.
all that she got.
I wanted to go hardwired in today.
I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy. A pimp, not a simp.
Not bad. 523 down, 367 up.
A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker, walk a green mile. Keep piling up the paper on the dining room table, cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man, they need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get toes.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning.
Do you have your outro ready?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Arty from Arty's Corporate Fiction with another evening with you guys. It is Law and Order, the brand new series with a totally original title. With my brother, back by popular demand, and we have a couple of really exciting videos to break down and discuss. So, Alex, how you been, man? What's you been doing?
I'm good. Been very busy. Did the Cowboy game last night. Did some interviews.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anything exciting off that doesn't involve the field happen out there?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Somebody. Okay, so I was working the parking lots with my team,
Right.
and they started launching mortar fireworks at the end of the game. I guess they were really, really mad. I don't know if you saw, they're throwing like stuff at the players at the end of the game while people started launching fireworks, which is pretty dangerous. But I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
And then somebody decided to like drink a little bit too much, and they started to get their gun out because Texas
Naturally.
start shooting their gun out in the air. Emptied a whole magazine into the air. So there was that happened, and we got him and arrested him. So there was a little bit of excitement out of a long day. So
Brilliant.
yeah. How have you been?
Well, not wanting to talk about the results of the game. I've been medicating by playing very, very difficult games to try and get my mind off of it, and ignoring Twitter because of all the anti-Cowboys memes that are there. But my loving audience likes to remind me of the final score because that's what my audience does. So, so to start off with, my audience loves me. They really do. Thank you, Kit, for being a member for 8 months. You gonna have pickle beer tastings with Alex? No. Alex, I don't know if you've ever had pickle beer before.
I've taken a sip of it. Yeah.
I tried.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember like loving it, but I know people like swear by it. And if it will stop me from getting a hangover, I will try it. I don't know.
So, yeah. So what one of my viewers from Texas sent me a couple of them. One was regular pickle beer, and one was Tabasco laced pickle beer, and it was disgusting as all hell. I think I can't remember which stream I did it when I tasted it on camera, and I'm like, no. I tried it twice. I tried 2 decent sips twice. Like, no, this is wrong.
But you don't like Bloody Marys, huh?
No.
Yeah, well,
I'll have a Bloody Mary if it's all that there is, and I'm desperate. But no, I generally don't.
I love Bloody Marys, but Anyway, so I guess should I do an intro? I mean, I'm pretty new to your channel. Do I give like a resume? To do that again, or do we did it last time?
You know, because this is only your second, so you can go ahead and give your resume. We'll probably do it another time just so people know, your background. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that.
So yeah, it's true. I am your real life brother. No, we are not twins.
Yeah,
I've been a police officer for 12 years. Been a sergeant, which is like a frontline supervisor, for 6 years. Served on mostly proactive units. Been on SWAT for a couple years. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get back on SWAT again. I'm an instructor, firearms instructor, and I also instruct community policing, racial profiling, and what else? Professional policing are the 3 classes I teach at the academy. Currently, I am on patrol, so I'm a patrol supervisor in our North District. So that's it. That's what I'm doing.
Nice. So today, I think I want to start out with what I thought was the most exciting thing. I don't know if you know. I think you know who Donut Operator is. He's a very popular YouTuber, former police officer.
Yep.
Does a lot of shooting breakdowns and so on. A couple of days ago, he posted a video entitled like Killdozer 2.0. I don't know if you've ever heard of Killdozer at all. It's about the original Killdozer was about this guy who had a vendetta against the local town, who genuinely they actually did screw him over I can't remember the exact details. And
I remember that.
He armored up a bulldozer, metal, and went on a fucking rampage across the town. So Killdozer 2.0 apparently happened in New Jersey last month.
Okay. How did I miss this? I don't remember.
How did I miss this? This happened in New Jersey. Yeah. But the only reason why Donut Operator put up together a video a couple days ago is because the AG's office released their preliminary report on the 13th of January. This incident took place in December 18th last year. A guy apparently they're still working on the motivations behind what happened because they don't know, but this guy apparently took over a bulldozer and just went ham at this neighborhood, this residential neighborhood. And we're going to look at, they have lots and lots of footage. We have 4 body-worn cameras, 3 cell phone videos, and 3 surveillance camera footages from like a Ring doorbell. And we will probably just go ahead and skip the 911 calls, but I want to go through, and they have it uploaded on their website because again, the AG's office released the report and they have all their footage available online. They mark it down body camera 1, 2, 3, 4, but I don't think it highlights the actual timeline of events. Now, I will say as a fair warning to people, the cops ended up putting the guy down, which is why we still don't know what his motivations are. And we're not going to showcase that that part. So I'm going to make sure that we note that. But and I think in all fairness, I think they were kind of justified in doing so. But I picked the wrong button.
Did you hear about the whole synagogue thing down the street from me?
I did hear about it, yeah.
Oh,
Share tab. There you go.
Yikes.
All right. There we go.
Gotta blur out the NBC. That's critical.
6, send an ambulance for the other driver here.
Oh, this poor trooper. Okay, now because I've seen Donut's video, I do have a little bit more context. But I won't spoil it for everybody.
Car and it's on Lincoln Avenue. Get out of the road.
Get out of the road.
Try to get in front of him.
Thanks, where do you need the ambulance?
Everything's going to tune up to unless we're directly involved with this.
6, send it to where the other vehicle is.
Oh, that car's messed up.
Car.
And there it is. And there goes her car.
I just struck a police car.
Fuck,
Is there somebody in
bro.
there?
No. She's not. That's her car. She's out.
That car?
Oh. Okay, so it's not a.
Do we have a police officer in that car that was just struck?
6 negative. It's my vehicle. 29
Eh.
and 26 have been totaled.
District King, call chief of police. Copy.
You know,
Yep.
at what point, all I'm thinking of, okay, is at what point would I shoot this guy? That's all I keep thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because at what point do you stop it? Okay. Right now, I don't know if we're there yet. If those cars are empty, he's smashing empty cars. Now, granted, you could argue that that's all the police cars you have, and that there's no way to apprehend this dude if you have no car. I don't know, but I don't know that we've reached that level yet. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. But as I'm watching this, that's what I'm thinking. And when is lethal force authorized? Because at this point, he's just smashing empty cars. What's the context before this? Do we have any context before this?
I read the AG's preliminary report that came with all this footage, and they have the identity of the person, but they still have no idea of the motive behind it at this point.
Okay, but what? I know you say we're going to skip the 911 calls. I'm fine because those can kind of drag on. But do you know what the initial calls to 911 were? Like
They
just that he's driving on the road, or?
One of them was at a like a warehouse or a fairly large warehouse, and it was from one of the employees there, and the guy was apparently smashing vehicles up in the warehouse to the point where they could hear people running inside because he eventually tried to push his bulldozer through the main doors of the warehouse. But that's at least one of the calls. There's 2 calls out there.
So let's just go with that he tried to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I believe that lady, that right there, she was in the red vehicle, and I think the guy smashed up the car while she was still in the vehicle at the time. Because when the female officer arrived on scene, it already looked like he was smashed up.
Which could add to the reasonableness of shooting him, because now we know he's willing to do that with somebody in it. But go ahead.
Hey, man, I'm kind of blind here. Let me know where he's going. Right behind you. He's going south.
Jesus fucking Christ.
2 police cars completely destroyed.
Are you all right?
No, I'm in shock.
Okay, we're headed
I'm going to work.
Pennsylvania.
All right, come back to
We're
Sit
gonna
down
have
on
you
this.
sit down. Okay.
I don't think. I mean, whatever.
At this point, this is a pursuit. We are in pursuit of this
And they're in pursuit.
vehicle right
See
now.
if this person wants
I would
to
love
go.
that.
All right, that's one. All right, here is body cam number. Well, let's kind of skip it. What does cell phone 1 have? Hang on. Okay, that's a female officer. So that's just the other angle.
Okay, so that's what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, just for chat, remember sideways. Just record it. Sideways.
Vertical video is a crime. Yes.
Yes.
Oh God. I think that's a 3rd police car.
Oh my God! I bet the chief is so pissed. The city manager.
Damn. Oh, he flips it. I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you, Kit, for the $2 super chat.
Run, go!
Oh, the other car's backing up.
Go!
Oh,
Like a movie.
He's crazy, my goodness. Oh my God.
And they're following in tow. Let's see, number 3. Ooh.
You know, as a society, you have to decide at what point, you know, are you okay with the cops stopping this? Because there's really, it looks like either he runs out of gas, there's some sort of mechanical breakdown,
Yep.
or he's stopped by getting shot. And you have to decide as a community, what are you willing to
Tolerate.
Is that okay? Tolerate, exactly. And I'd say this is just building more and more and more case that he needs to be stopped. You know, it's one thing to have a pissed off guy destroy his coworker, his boss's car, you know, and then get out and
Oh
it's
my
over
god,
with,
that's
but,
the ambulance.
That's right. That is
Now-
right. That's the ambulance.
you know, and now you're destroying ambulances, you're destroying cars, and you can't respond to critical incidences. It limits your ability. I mean, it's just, to me, you're adding more and more and more right now.
This is from, I think, a Ring doorbell or another surveillance camera. Oh no, this is from that surveillance, and then the second surveillance camera is from the Ring doorbell. And now this guy's going straight to a residential property into somebody's home. Just
Okay, I think there is, before he hits the house, if he's in a residential house, that's it, done, over with.
This is in Vineland, New Jersey, which is in the southeastern portion of New Jersey.
Yeah, I think at the
And
moment
right
you go
there,
into
he's
a
at a
residential
house. Yeah.
you know that you don't know if it's occupied or not. Nope, that's it, lights out. And I would authorize to start from there and to use lethal force to stop him. And you know, most departments now have rifles. I don't know, New Jersey's scared of guns, but
They do have rifles
Texas.
at least.
in Texas, a rifle round bonded, even a 9mm round will go through that window of that cab, and that's it. You know, I think I really draw the line at occupied vehicles or houses at that point. I mean, we've got to stop this guy. He's clearly deranged.
There's a ring. Same house, but the Ring doorbell.
And by the way, I don't know about New Jersey, but as a homeowner, now my only problem with that as a homeowner, you have to make sure what you see behind you, right? You don't want to
Right.
shoot into where your backstop is a bunch of cops. That's not good either. Because wasn't me. I would expect the cops to shoot, so I would run the other way. I don't want to get shot either.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
last one. Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, we missed that because I think he eventually trashes one of those houses that they couldn't even get the footage back.
So then, how long did it take for these guys to decide they're gonna shoot this dude or stop this dude?
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for the this is now that's all the remaining footage. The rest of the footage is body worn camera. This is body worn camera from number 2, officer number 2.
I mean,
As you
maybe
know, silent until for about 20-30 seconds
30 seconds. Yeah, that's the industry standard. I wonder. Yeah, y'all should have this. I wonder if you could jump on it and MacGyver this thing. I feel comfortable getting pretty close.
Right. I do. Again, I've seen operators thing, and I've seen all the footage, and I know how they ultimately end the threat.
I used to drive one of those cars. They suck. I hate them.
Oh, the Chevys?
Chief, you on radio?
Yeah, the Chief. They're better in snow than the front wheel drive. Little factoid there. That's probably why they have it.
I need somebody to go to that house and make sure everybody's okay. I need an officer to go to that house that was just struck.
Let's stop the threat.
Jimmy, I'm right here. Just let me know if he comes back my way so I don't get fucking hit. My dog's in the car.
Louis, I need you to stay with him. I can't see. He just turned off somewhere else.
And right, well, I'm the only one down
How
here.
long? I mean, he's not going very fast, right? I mean,
No, it's a bulldozer.
why the silence for 30 seconds on body cam?
Why? Yeah, why is that?
So body cameras are like DVRs. So throughout your shift, they're always recording. And I'm guessing, and I don't know for sure. My guess is to give us some privacy. So, because the car is our office, right? And if I'm on the phone with my wife getting freaky, and I jump out on a call, that the conversation at least is silent, but the video is still there. I mean, so I don't know. I really don't know if it's for privacy, but I'm assuming it's for privacy because technically the call doesn't start until you exit your car. So as you exit your car, the recording starts with the audio. So you'll notice as he's opening the door is when the video, probably the audio starts to go. And I think that's a fair expectation where the officer should expect that his words are not going to be recorded. And then obviously, dash cam footage of the steering wheel isn't really relevant to anything. The audio from the radio is always recorded. The dash cam is same thing. It's recording 30 seconds back. So you're not like you need the video anyway. It's just kind of a buffer, but I'm assuming it's for privacy.
Gotcha.
He's in. If he, Lou, you got to get up here with me. You just struck another vehicle.
Oh, is this? Why he's going in reverse now?
This is like, like a movie. Like, I'm not saying I want this to happen, but
right.
It'd be kind of cool.
What's he doing?
In fairness, I'm watching this on video. Like,
Stuck on a tree.
I'm not there. I'd be very terrified if I was there.
All right, going back into the complex here. I need more guys from the shift up here with this guy.
Dude, we gotta do something now.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's kind of my thing too. Is like you have officers, and it's not uncommon, that they calling more officers isn't going to solve the problem.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to solve the problem.
Hey, they're screaming.
The chief should have given an order over the radio to use this force to stop it.
Oh shit. Is it gunning for him? Oh, and there goes his car.
I mean,
Louis, you gotta get up here.
he can't help you. It's frustrating.
This might I might be stopping this because I think this might be the cop that ends the threat. So okay, no, it wasn't him, but that was the cop.
But that is an example of why rifles are so important in law enforcement. They're accurate, way more accurate than a pistol, easy to use, can stop threats. So it's frustrating, and this officer is not alone. I think it's a very common response is that we reach for the radio, we hope our back is going to come, somebody else is going to come solve the problem, but the reality is one officer is going to solve the problem, and unfortunately, there's people that are very apprehensive about it, and I get it, man. I've been there when I was a rookie, and I'd say I'm not saying I'm perfect. I might have done the same thing in this situation. I'm definitely not perfect, but and I get the benefit of hindsight being 2020. But you know, as police officers, you have to understand that just grabbing the radio is not going to help you, and you're going to have to end the threat. And I think this officer probably had an opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
but again, I wasn't there. We're only seeing a limited view of what's happening, so I don't want to completely judge him on that. I definitely wasn't there, but yeah, a little interesting. I'm surprised it took this long.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Stop! Stop! Get him out!
Okay. Is that Vineland? That usually NJSP has that yellow stripe, but it could just be Vineland Police.
Shot fired.
Watch. Get it off. Get it off.
All right. Body cam number 3.
Going right for a house here. Jimmy, he just went off. He's hitting.
Yeah, and actually, I'm reading some chat. I know Dallas Police actually has a 50 cal, like a Barrett 50 cal.
Wow.
And they've shot like engine blocks with it to stop errant vehicles.
He's going right into a house.
I know
right
my department, we asked for one. They said no, but maybe we'll get one day.
I don't know why they're blurring the
home screen of his
the Windows home screen. It's a lot.
Yeah, he hasn't even logged on the computer yet. I mean, he probably just jumped in that car and started driving that way, which is totally cool with me.
Maybe, yeah.
But it's kind of funny that they're blurring out the time.
The Windows lock screen.
And there was much rejoicing.
All right, well,
That is a backhoe, not a bulldozer. Absolutely correct. It's the first thing I noticed when we started watching this.
Okay, fine. They're two separate things. I just called it Killdozer 2.0 because Donut Operator called it that. All right. Sue me. I think this is a K9 unit.
I need more guys from the shift up here with this guy.
he's going into houses, Jim. We gotta do something now.
All right.
Is he still inside?
this might be it. Yep, this is him. So we're not going to show the rest of it because this is the officer who took the shots. But
The hero.
to your
You
point,
notice the difference between the two?
yeah, he just got out of his car while the other guy was seemingly hesitant. But also
Running
to
around
your
grabbing his radio.
another thing to your point. I mean, if he had a rifle, would he have needed to get this close to the backhoe?
Yeah, I don't know. It really just depends on the makeup of the everything. Your backstop in an urban environment is really, really important. So maybe he would, just because he would want to take a more accurate shot. But ultimately, no, he does not have to get that close to take as accurate of a shot. The issue I see here is the angle. Like you're shooting at almost at an upward angle, and
Right.
it better be accurate.
I will say he took 3 shots, and it did look like the first shot hit its target. But obviously he wants to make sure that the threat's been ended. So, thank you, Kathleen L, for the $50 super chat. Wow.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he did actually. The last stream, I think we talked about it because it was ironically I did the same thing too. I actually FaceTimed her. So
yeah.
Oops. Sorry, Kayla.
Thank you very much.
And there's another
Kathleen.
chat I saw earlier from somebody talking about like, can I give any insight to the synagogue shooting? We'll get back to that a little later.
But this is eventually it. Because again, I'm not gonna go any further than that. But that's ultimately what happened. Like I said, they only initially released a preliminary investigation. And they still don't have a motivation behind why this guy decided to just fuck shit up at 5:30 in the morning on December 18th.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the super chats that we missed. Charlie Welch, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Love this show. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Thank you.
Aaron, for $5. Now, be fair, Arty. We don't all tell you the final score. Some of us make fun of your Fallout clothes. Kidding. Love you. Thanks, Aaron.
I make fun of his Fallout clothes. He wears them to formal events.
I mean, where else would you wear them? T to Lou for $10. Really enjoying the combo of experience you guys bring. Hope you guys can keep doing these shows together. Thank you very much for that. Colony L3 $1.99. It's the free version of Killdozer Rampage. Yeah, that basically. I mean, this guy did not put any sort of armaments or anything at all. He just, effectively went out there naked.
I bet he wish he did.
Yeah. Kit would $92. Future Glen Serio right here. If he could fit. No, I don't think he could have fit there. What is it? Tom Castro for $5. Clint Eastwood, Harry Callahan would have ended this and Glen Serio's behavior quickly. Thank you very much, Tom. Angry Drunk Bumblebees, thank you for the $3.49 New Zealand. You shall not board his vessel. He is traveling. I mean, he technically is. Yes.
Not sure it's a vessel.
We say
if it floats.
Sane Rose, $2. Grogu looks like he wants to see the Carnage too. Alex.
Oh. Sorry.
Get 190. You were your answer that question. Why the silence for 30 seconds on the body cameras? Thank you very much, though. Arian Rod for $5. Alex, what information would you give to faith communities after the hostage situation in Colleyville?
What I would say is I think a lot of places have done this, is making sure that you have your securities on point. I think places of worship, regardless of religion. And I know we saw it in Texas a couple of years ago when one of the congregants of the church who was also on their security team took an awesome shot and dropped a would-be assassin in a church. And unfortunately in 2022, that's just what we have to do. We have to worry about security. So I think making sure that you have a plan in place and a team in place and ultimately carry. I mean, we live in Texas, and fortunately you could do that in Texas. And I would encourage everybody to do that. We have our Islamic mosques that do it, and I have no problem with that in our neighborhoods. We have synagogues that do it, and we have Christian churches that do it. And I know it's a lot of people are uncomfortable with that fact, but unfortunately, it's what we have to do. But I will say it is relatively rare. It's not very common. I got a notification from a friend of mine, and I was able to watch some of it on Facebook Live before they cut the stream, and it was really interesting. And there's a lot of dynamics that we'll go into. I'm interested to see the debrief and what information comes out from the debrief, because I know that the weather was a huge factor in that. It was very, very windy. I think some gusts were like 60 miles an hour gusts of wind. It was very cold for Texas. I mean, the wind chills were in the 20s. And when you have guys like that outside for 12 hours, the logistics of having your SWAT team out there for that long become very complicated. So I'm curious to see how they did. I know FBI's HRT or their SWAT team came and assisted, and I think they actually handled the emergency rescue portion of it. But I'll wait and see how that debrief goes. But I will say it's rare. I will say make sure you have a plan in place. Yeah, that's really all I have to add to that for now.
Right on. Nathan, for $5, that's a backhoe, not a bulldozer. Yes, we've already established that. Thank you very much, Nathan. Kathleen Ellie, again, thank you very much for the $50. Yes, we did talk about that last week, about me butt dialing my sister. And J-Dub for $18.89. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. I like this brother stream. Hope to see more. And $5 from Nathan. There was an incident with a bulldozer in which the man was also killed. Disgruntled business owner, I think. If you're referring to Killdozer 1.0, yes, I do know about that.
He like up armored his stuff, and anytime somebody up armors something, we had an incident in Arlington around where I live, and the guy donned body armor, and I'm like, at that point, somebody's putting on body armor. They're telling you that they're trying to thwart your efforts and stopping them, and it definitely becomes a little bit more serious at that point.
Apparently I didn't even realize it, because apparently Netflix put out a documentary on Killdozer like a couple of weeks ago, but that's not even where I learned about it. There was like a YouTube documentary that I read, that I watched
TV shows
a couple of months ago. Yeah, this guy, it was basically a mobile bunker. Like, he was completely encased. He had a TV camera set up so that he can watch what he's looking at without having to peek out with his out in the open. It was wild what he did.
Well, they had a national, I think in California, some guy took a tank. Like,
I heard about that too. But
crazy.
Yeah.
He high centered it on like a Jersey berry off a highway.
Oh wow.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Oh yeah. And Kit 2.0, Kit 190 for $2. No more buddy cops with Kick, only bro streams now. I mean, no, I still want to do buddy cops with Kick, but I know that he's had scheduling issues, but we'll still be doing those on Saturday still. Just a matter of scheduling. All right, so what do you have for us this evening? Well, actually, can you send me the link to it, I should say, and then you can talk about it, the background.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know how to send you a link on this.
Oh.
So, my bad. The that video that I sent,
you can send it through. They have his own chat on the side chat.
Yeah. But in the meantime, I'll pull something else up because it's going to take me a second. I don't even know where my phone is to send that. I have to look it back up. My bad. I don't mean to be not prepared. I thought for some reason that you were going to have it.
I thought it was, but I completely forgot to transfer the link.
I emailed it to you, right?
I think you sent it to me in text.
Okay. All right. Do you have something else we could go over though while I do this?
Yeah, let me go back to the YouTubes.
My bad. I don't know how to like do computer stuff. I just sit here and chat and let you do it.
Nope, wrong button. Wrong video, I should say.
I have it here. Let me forward this. But it's going to take a second. So, yeah, keep pulling something else up.
We could go to the lady who set a porta-potty on fire.
Okay.
I mean, if you have had something, a similar experience of, you know, a woman who's either homeless and or having mental issues or both, probably a combination of column A and B.
On November 4th, 2021, police
shout out to Code Blue Cam for the footage.
Were called to a local park after a woman was seen lighting a porta-potty on fire in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The woman was identified as 46-year-old Melissa Miller. Melissa reportedly removed toilet paper from a dispenser inside the porta-potty and placed it on the toilet floor. She then lit the toilet paper on fire, which caused a large flame to erupt. Witnesses also said she placed other items on top to keep the fire going. A bystander confronted Melissa and put out the fire. The porta-potty sustained significant damage. Melissa then sat on a picnic table and remained there until police arrived.
What's the deal?
Chill.
Yeah.
That's you down park earlier?
Yes.
Okay. Walking down here and I'm cussing.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Levi.
So what happened? What's your problem with the porta potty?
It's full of shit and it's full
Yeah.
I mean,
she's not wrong.
of plastic shit, and that's what this shit's about. It's karma. Karma's a bitch. I'm karma.
So you're gonna light it on fire?
Well, just, you know, proving the point. It's just plastic shit, you know. Water's
Out there
involved.
proving a point.
You fucking need to drink out of water bottle or no. You have to pay for damn water.
So
I had the water Salvation Army wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the firefighters are probably so mad that the fire is not fully engulfed this porta potty. If you ever want to see a bunch of firefighters let down, it's you put the fire out before they get there. I promise you, it's a true story.
You mean bottled water?
So you light a porta potty on fire?
Just a little bit. You know, put some toilet paper in
Would
a
you
bunch of
just
shit.
use your lighter?
Yeah.
And then the
my
toilet
lighter?
paper?
Yeah, toilet paper. That's it. Laid on toilet paper. There used to be a
Okay.
telephone pole there, telephone booth. It was a portal potty, not a potty portal.
What was your intention of lighting
Not a
on fire?
potty porto.
What was my intention? Just to
Yeah.
burn some shit. That's all. Shit, literally shit. That's nothing but shit.
You said your name's Melissa, right?
Yeah, Melissa E. Miller.
91. I'm out with Melissa Miller. 244. I had a call with me earlier today. If you get on her. Hey, so we're gonna go 95. Okay. So you are gonna be placed under arrest, Melissa. Okay?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Why?
You're under arrest.
What we're telling you
She's
right now is
obviously
you're under
has,
arrest.
What?
Yeah.
mental issues, clearly.
Yeah,
But,
it gets
yeah,
it gets a
you
bit
gotta-
wilder as we go along.
You purposely
You
lit.
understand that? So
You
go ahead and
stand
stand
up.
up.
That uniform.
Stand
now.
up.
Go ahead and stand up and we'll let you finish your cigarette.
no,
If
I
you don't,
don't.
I'm going to take it out of your hand, okay?
And do what with it?
I'm going to
Stand
put it
up.
out.
What's your name?
Officer Beasley.
Beasley.
Yep.
Not gonna
Let's
arrest
stand
you
up.
to burn you.
No, I'm not. Don't put my cigarette out.
Okay,
Let me
ma'am.
go.
What I'm telling you right
Hands
now
off
is
me.
you're being placed under
91. We'll
arrest.
take
Go
one more,
with me.
please.
What that
Let
means,
go of me.
I'm not going to let you go because you
Let
are
go
being
of me.
placed under
Let go of
arrest.
me. Police brutality.
All right.
You doing something like that?
Don't touch
Melissa.
me, please.
I have been pinched.
Always fun when it's when they know you on a first name basis.
Yeah. She's checking the tightness of the handcuffs and then double locking them so they can't get any tighter.
Melissa.
Okay, I was actually gonna ask about that because I always wonder what they were. I know I've seen that happen before. I just don't know what it does for the cuffs.
So what he just did was what's called a double lock. So you set the lock. So because handcuffs, they ratchet down, right? And you just keep squeezing, they get tighter
Yep.
and tighter. So
Yep.
what he just did was he made them lock so they can't get any tighter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's wrong?
Everything.
Go ahead and stand up.
Dude,
You want to let
luck,
go? We'll
she'd
get
like
your glasses
super
back.
pink or something.
Go ahead.
You want them on your face? Would you like your glasses on your face?
No contact with Linda Mossholder.
I copy.
I'm not talking to her.
That's fine. So you are under arrest for arson. We're gonna bring your stuff with you, okay? You're gonna go to Cross County Jail.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot. Somebody in the chat noticed this when I was looking at this. She looks like Steve Buscemi. Like, and I can't unsee it anymore.
Any questions?
Let me go.
You're not free to leave us.
Why don't you give me a fucking fine?
Do you have a...
And Steve Buscemi was a firefighter.
You just want to pull it up? I'll hold on to it.
You got her?
Yeah. A fine? You can't just light things on fire.
Really? Why not? Because this place is full of shit.
Deacon maybe.
Officer Rhymes.
They get seen.
Real officer 19?
What?
You know, every
19s?
state's different,
19,
but like
19s?
the number one
Huh?
place
Birds
for mental health resources is county jails in Texas. In the penal system is where most people get help, but that's a different topic. I mean, but it's the only place where they can really force somebody to take medication like that. So
right. Yeah, because usually when they're out, I mean, of their own volition, many times they're not going to voluntarily.
And, you know, it's a sad thing, and you know, people feel 100% normal, so they stop taking their meds, and then they don't realize when they're not normal. By the time they realize they're not normal, it's too late.
Right.
It's a cycle. It's a sad cycle. It really is.
Fuck together?
I'm not sure
In
what that
1919?
Apparently, this was Melissa's second encounter with police in less than a week. Police were called to a residence on October 28th, where a 14-year-old said Melissa slapped her in the face and punched her with a closed fist. She then also burned a mattress inside the residence.
Why are they blowing out the firefighters?
We're just gonna walk over to the curb, okay, Melissa? You okay with that?
Here, any rights? You have no rights over me. Get your hands off me.
Yeah, I've had a lady similar to that. She put a raw whole chicken on the burner of a stove and like turned the stove on.
Oh wow!
So that was pretty cool. Oh, we can see your emails.
Okay, officer, please.
Oh, these are my. Oh, you can see that.
Oh yeah.
I did. All right.
All right.
Go ahead and go to the front of the squad.
Look at me.
Oh, anything good in there?
No. I was trying to.
OnlyFans account.
Yeah, exactly. Those are my OnlyFans. All right, there we go. This is much better.
Oh, maybe an eyeball. Or a tit. Or a fucking nipple. Yeah, my tits are nipples. And the fucking needles, too.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
You like handling
Yeah, I bet Fire was so pissed off that the damn thing wasn't completely engulfed.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
I don't even know that we would arrest for that if we're being honest.
I think the arrest is a result of, you know, she was already hit somebody and assaulted somebody prior.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, she allegedly slapped and then punched a 14-year-old, and then burned a mattress somewhere else.
Some 14-year-olds deserve it, though.
I mean, look, I don't know what the circumstances were.
Yeah, New York hardcore. Yeah, Steve Buscemi was a New York City firefighter. Yeah, hell yeah. He's actually a hero.
I actually did not know that. So.
Oh, I wasn't kidding.
Huh.
Start who?
You good?
After 4 days without sleep, there was sleep
Take a seat.
Officer Mahoney.
Yes, ma'am.
At the spit.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you're on the ground.
Hold on, it fucking hurt, bitch.
Oh, that's actually really nice.
Suck your feet and watch your head.
Watch your fucking head.
All right.
Bats, rats, cats.
All right.
Sats, rats.
Seatbelt on here, okay?
Turtle ticks.
Go ahead and sit back so it doesn't get your
I
neck.
can't sit back. My head
Yeah,
hurt.
you know,
That's it.
honestly, like in my department, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually just took her on a mental application
Yeah,
and just chalked up the burnt porta potty. Maybe because obviously there's a victim in that porta potty. Somebody owns that porta potty. It depends on. So it depends on the damage to the porta potty. If it was like nominal, then perhaps we would just take her on the mental application.
Thank you, Melissa.
Right.
Thank you for what? Jesus, you're looking at it.
No, I was coughing. I was talking to myself. I'm not hurt. She's doing her job.
I hope so. I hope you fucking know something. All right.
Okay, and all right, we got the picture. So okay,
she's a cat lady for sure.
Oh yeah,
or pigeon lady.
All right, walk us through this.
Okay, so I guess this is the reason why I wanted to show this, and I thought it was interesting because somebody in your chat last time wanted to delineate between a auditor,
Rogue Nation,
cop watcher.
Yes.
And so, I said, okay, so I guess this is an auditor provoking somebody. So I want to watch this with your audience, kind of see what they say, because I know a lot of them are interested in I guess, between the cop watchers and auditors and the like. And so this is interesting. I guess this guy, he's walking into City Hall, and I'm assuming this small city has a police department attached to City Hall. So he's in the City Hall portion of it. So that's where we walk in. And this is a civilian. From what I understand, she works in City Hall. She is not a police officer.
Gotcha. And I'm looking at that patch. I'm trying to... Do we know what town this is? What state?
No.
I can't tell.
Up north, New York. I think. I'm guessing.
Oh.
Definitely northerner.
There we go.
I'm sorry, you're in my building. Who are you?
I'm in your building.
This is the town of Orangetown's building?
This is yours?
This is the town of Orangetown's building. I work here.
Oh, okay. This is not your building. You don't own it, right?
You say it's the town of Orange?
Something like that.
If it's Orange, then that's New Jersey. Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, are you filming here?
Yes, he is. And he is Sean Paul Reyes.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, God, it's Long Island Audits. Oh, God. Yeah, all right. I'm not a fan of his, but we're going to go ahead and watch it.
You're not a fan of his? Like,
he's already been arrested. And actually, I remember he had to write an apology letter as part of a sentencing for one of his audits.
That seems a little weird.
Yeah.
Long Island Audit here.
Long Island Audit, one of the most successful First Amendment auditors in America.
You don't own the building. The people own the building, ma'am. This is a public building.
And
Respectfully.
you need to have, do you have a permit to film here?
Do I have a permit?
Yeah.
I do not have a permit, no.
Okay, so in order to film in this building, you need a permit.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh,
who are you?
It's probably not
really.
true, yeah.
Who are you? So I know who I spoke with?
She's like,
I want to know
help.
how come you think you don't need a permit?
Somebody help.
Is your name on your shirt?
The Orangetown, New York staffer chewing gum.
Okay, New York. Okay, yeah, New York.
And the police that work in the building are out of their league.
I can't really see. You work for the
Please shut
supervisor's
this down
office?
because you're not allowed to film here without a permit.
Ma'am, why are you becoming so hostile? How you doing, sir?
Officer Caleb, Orangetown Police Department.
How you doing?
What's going on today?
Nothing, just filming.
Okay.
He doesn't have a permit.
I don't need a permit.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
I'd like that shut off,
This is-
so I don't want anything
This way,
on
you can turn it off, or I can take it from you.
Don't touch me.
Don't make threats.
Are
You
ordering
can't,
me to leave?
that's a rookie move. You don't make threats unless you can follow up on them.
Bring you to
I'm
leave.
actually
So-
fairly
Okay.
nice, but once I know I can arrest you, then I'm an asshole. But that just depends on how you're being a jerk. If you're being a jerk to me or not. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
filming whatever's on his
Turn it
phone,
off.
shut off. I want
Don't.
it
I'm
wiped
walking
off.
out.
Turn it off.
This is not against the law. This is a constitutionally protected activity.
Turn it
I'm
off.
trying to. You're trying.
Turn off the phone.
I am trying to walk past you to
Turn off
leave.
the phone.
I want to make it clear. I'm trying to walk past you to leave because you're going to need some complaints.
Turn off the
Don't
phone.
touch my phone.
Turn it off.
Don't. I have a body camera on too. Don't touch my phone.
Turn
What are
it
you
off.
guys doing? This is against the law.
Reyes is correct. What Officer Caleb just did
This is
by
against the
grabbing
law,
him
sir.
is against the law.
Hey,
This is what crime do I
Not a
commit?
good look.
I can answer
Yeah, as
your-
a supervisor, I'm a little upset at the officer for handling it this way. That's for sure. He's getting baited in.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's trying to play, Captain Good Guy to this lady. I don't know who she is.
And she's acting kind of like a Karen. Like I want that
She
footage wiped
absolutely-
off. I mean, like I said, I'm not.
She's not a police officer,
Right.
so.
I'm not the biggest. I'm not this guy's biggest fan, but I mean the officer is being a little bit too aggressive here, and You could tell.
Yeah, he is. I think he's not used to somebody challenging his authority. Is my guess, and he's either very new or he's just not used to somebody challenging his authority. And people will challenge your. It's 2022. It's not like it used to be. People challenge your authority all the time, and that's fine. You just have to know when you can and can't do certain things. And once you start putting hands on somebody, once you get in front of them and obstruct their movement, you've detained them, and you know you can get caught in a civil rights violation lawsuit pretty quick.
Your ID. You're in a government facility.
You can ask me for my ID and I can decline.
Where's your ID?
I'm going to decline to give you my ID. It's my right.
Oh, you are?
It's my right.
Government facility.
Do you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime, sir?
You don't have a permit to film in this
That's
building.
not a crime. That doesn't mean this is a public building. Go get your supervisor, please. I'm asking for your supervisor.
I'm going to wait right here.
I'm sure your policy states that if I ask for your supervisor, you have to get me one. So can you get me a supervisor? Because you're going to make a big mistake here.
Now, I'll ask you that. And I think it's generally the case that if somebody requests a supervisor, is it generally the case for most departments to have a supervisor arrive on scene?
No. It's a myth. No. Just because they ask for a supervisor doesn't mean I'm going to show up. And a lot of times all I'm going to do is get there and see the same thing the cop did. It also, let's be fair, it also depends on the officer, right? Like if I trust that officer and I know that officer is a training officer, they've been around a long time, and I trust them, then I might not feel the need to make the scene. I might just meet him at the jail, or I might follow up with a phone call.
Right.
To be honest, I often will go more times than not, mostly because I enjoy it. I enjoy hearing the nonsense that comes out of it, because 99 times out of 100, it's not anything the officer did. It's they're upset they're getting a ticket. They're upset they're going to jail. And there's really nothing I can do. In this case, I think right now, if you stop right now, what we have, I would have to have a conversation with this first officer here and explain to him, basic arrest, search, and seizure with him. I don't like what he did. He's getting baited, and it's making us look bad. So right now it's not. And what I since I have seen this, what I want you guys to kind of know is the second officer that shows up. Remember, he's not as emotionally invested. Remember, we are human. We are police officers. We are human. We are not perfect. So this first officer is emotionally invested in this. And one of the hardest things about being a cop when you encounter these situations is taking your emotions out of it and responding in a way that is just purely business. So let's see.
What's my mistake?
Your mistake is you're violating my rights.
I'm not violating your rights.
And I'm going to hold you accountable.
You are in a government building.
You just grab. That doesn't matter. This is a public building. Yes, I am. This is a public building. I'm a journalist. I have freedom of press.
Supervisor is not failure to supervise. That's not what that is.
Again, I don't consider auditors like these to be journalists. I mean, we can have a whole discussion on the whole issue of press and rights to record, et cetera, and generally speaking, the courts have, and just to make this point, generally the courts have been saying, generally speaking, that the press don't have any more rights than the individual in terms of access to public facilities, et cetera, that are accessible to everyone. The issue but my personal thing is, for these guys, just call yourselves what you actually are, which is an activist. You're an activist, and there's nothing wrong with being an activist. Just don't fucking pretend to be otherwise, because a journalist will actually document, edit, and put together an actual story, not make themselves the story. Because once you make yourself the story, you're not being a journalist anymore. You're being an activist. That's my 2 cents here.
Yes, I want your supervisor.
Come down to the police department side, and we'll bring our supervisor.
Great. Tell him not to touch me. Don't touch me again. You touch my camera.
You need to turn it off.
No, I don't.
You need a permit to film in this building.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
Is that a law?
No, it's town ordinance.
It's not a law.
It's town ordinance.
It's not a law. Where's the code?
Okay, an ordinance.
So ordinances, of course, are laws.
Ordinance is a law. And a lot of times these auditors don't like to make that distinction or something like that.
But that's again, that goes on the weakness of their argument, though. They can't articulate it, and I think this officer doesn't. My guess is he has no idea what the permitting process is.
I don't think he does either.
Building, and I would argue that it should be common sense that if you are in a space where the general public has access to conduct business, that you can record. But again, this is the New Jersey.
No, this is New York.
The Communist Republic of New York. Either way, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think honestly the cop is only going by what she's saying. And it may well be that it's an ordinance. It may be an ordinance, and so there's a lot of wrong here. He's wrong in saying that an ordinance is not a law. An ordinance absolutely is something that does have the force of law. But whether or not this permit actually exists, I got no idea, and I don't know what the procedure is
in this case.
Right,
and I would highly doubt it.
Right.
Look at her.
Go get him. I'm sure he'll educate
She's
you, man.
being
If
a
he's good at
complete
what he's
Karen.
done, I'm sure he'll educate you.
Insult me?
No, I'm not trying to insult you. Yeah, because you obviously don't know freedom of press.
I issue the permits in this building and the town of Orangetown.
You obviously don't understand I have a right to freedom of press, ma'am.
You do not have the right to film in this
I
building.
do. This is a public building.
$5,000
This
until I
is
issue a permit?
You're talking about for commercial film. Again, you need education. Go get the town attorney, please. You're talking about commercial filming, ma'am.
I'm not going to have you dismiss me like I'm some peon. Okay?
Ma'am, you've been treating me bad. You've grabbed my camera. Please get me a supervisor, sir.
So come with me to this side, and we'll get the supervisor.
Please get me a
This is
supervisor.
the town hall side. Come with me to the police department side. We'll get the supervisor.
Don't touch me ever again.
That guy's smart.
Please excuse
that
me.
That guy's
get
a
on my
more
way.
experienced police officer.
Thank you.
Or at least if he's not more experienced, he's handling it better.
Sorry about that.
Come on.
No, I don't trust this guy behind me. He's a loose cannon.
Walk in front of us then.
Loose cannon.
He can walk in front.
Loose cannon. Uneducated.
The officers and Reyes then walked to the side of the building that houses the Orangetown Police Department.
What are you in training, man? Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with
Why is
you?
he in training?
Because he doesn't understand that I have the right to film, number one. Number two, he puts his hands on my equipment, which he cannot do.
Right, but you don't have the right to film inside for no legitimate reason, which is what he was trying to explain to you. That's what we're trying to figure out.
First of all,
you're
no one
for.
before. Exactly. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. I'm working.
Yeah, that's a bingo square right there. So you guys playing mental bingo, you got it.
On a story at City Hall. I have to go see the town clerk.
Like word for word, for God's sakes. That's how often I hear them say that line.
Right.
To do a Freedom of Information Act request.
Yep, in a FOIA request.
You don't do that at the town clerk though. That goes to the records department.
No, I'm not talking about for the police department. I'm not talking about for the police department, sir. I'm talking about for the town.
Okay.
For the town. So that's why I need to see the town clerk.
Okay.
But escalating the situation like that's not cool. Grabbing my camera, ordering me to leave a public building. You have no authority to order me to leave a public building. I'm conducting business, constitutionally protected business, and I'm getting public services here. Just because I have a camera in my hand doesn't mean anything. I have the freedom of press. I'm an independent journalist.
Right. No,
and
you're
if somebody
not.
would have talked to me instead of trying to grab my phone and order me to leave a building,
Still should have grabbed the phone.
That's why de-escalation is so important.
And I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yeah, and that's why I appreciate you for doing that. Can I get your name and badge number?
Yeah, Macara, 218.
Macara? 218, thank you.
Eventually, a police supervisor walked out.
What was your last name, sir?
Boysa, B-O-Y-S-A?
Boysa.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, sir.
You requested to speak with the supervisor?
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Officer Califf.
Okay.
Oh,
completely unhinged and out of control.
Okay.
Completely.
All right.
He has a
attempted
notepad and
to
pen.
take my phone from me.
He really looks like he's giving a shit.
When I
That's
say
awesome.
attempted,
Good for
grabbed
him.
my phone and I had to wrestle it out of his hands.
Providing excellent customer service.
Ordered me to leave a public building while I'm conducting lawful business.
Okay.
And just completely unprofessional and unaware of the freedom of press that we have in this country. I told him, no de-escalation technique whatsoever to try and figure out who I was, what I was doing here. Just allowed an employee from the supervisor's office to put a battery in his back. And like I said, immediately, I'm ordering you to leave this building right now. Didn't even ask
Put a
who
battery?
I was, what I was
Oh,
doing.
like a robot?
No
Okay.
type of prerequisite questions as to figure out what my purpose is.
At this point, do you want to tell me why you came to the building today?
Well, sure. I mean, it's not a secret. You know, I'm an independent journalist, just like I told anybody else who took the time to ask me. I'm an independent journalist, gathering content for a story, doing some Freedom of Information Act requests.
I think that's where he fucked up, because now he's if he would go in, because now he's generating content or whatever. I don't know, because then you can argue that okay, well, he's getting paid for the YouTube channel. But the other flip side of it is if he would have just walked in, gone directly to which I think so far he's kind of done. When we talk about content for his channel and all that stuff, the officers, to be fair, are the ones creating the content for him.
That's the whole point. Yes, that's exactly
right.
the point.
Obviously, that's his point, but they're feeding into it. Had that lady, had those two officers that will just do what you got to do and leave, then they could argue, well, you're only in this building. You're in this building for no reason. You're not trying to conduct business, so you do need to leave, and we can remove people from a building for that. You can't just loiter in a building. If you're conducting business, you can be in there. But I think he's losing the battle now at that point when you're admitting that you're just standing around waiting for a confrontation. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's I mean, that's basically the nail on the head. They're not there to actually make a FOIL request. They're not there at the post office to buy one single stamp. They're there to engage in confrontation with either the postal employees, which they like to go to post offices, or engage with the city workers, or engage with officers who are going to ask them questions. And you're right. Most of the time, the best practice is to ignore them and not engage in it, because then they don't have the content for their story. But ultimately, you're and that's another point that you did make, in which a lot of these auditors like to say and I would like to ask you whether or not somebody can be trespassed from a public building, or simply for trespassing. In other words, if somebody was asking somebody to leave, or an agent of the building asked them to leave, can the police get them to leave?
Yes. If they are not there to conduct business. So
Okay.
we do it all the time in parks, city parks. If homeless, because it's Texas, if homeless are in the park after hours, because they do close, there are hours, and it's an issue, then a city employee can criminally trespass them from the park. If in this case somebody walks into a government building and they're recording or holding their rifles, because damn it, this is Texas, as long as they're conducting business, they're there to get a permit, or they're there to do whatever, go to the water department to pay a bill, whatever it is, then yeah, they're good to go. And no, we cannot criminally trespass them. But the moment that business stops, then yes, we can control it. And of course, we do have controlled access. So for instance, that doorway behind the sergeant there, if he goes back past that doorway, which we have had some auditors try to do back when this all was first going down, then yeah, absolutely, you go to handcuffs. I had an incident once where I arrested a guy, and we go through a when you go to the jail, you have a fence, or a gate, and it opens and closes, and she followed me in behind me. I didn't realize it was his girlfriend or whatever, and she followed behind me into the secure area of the back lot, and I guess she got out. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you arresting him? Like, how do I get him out?" And I'm like, "Well, let me show you. Don't move." And I put handcuffs on her for criminally trespassing because she followed to the secured area of the back lot. And they were both standing in jail next to each other, and it was the most greatest thing in the world. And I'm like, "Hey, he's in here. Here's how you get him out, but you also need to get out. So here's how you get out." And it was fantastic. So yeah, we can control, public. Yeah, it's owned by the public, sure, but we can restrict access.
Yeah, right. The only reason I bring that up is because one of the auditors that's in the chat right now, he seemed to have this idea that a trespass is a secondary charge. Like, you have to be doing something else criminal in order to be trespassed from a public building.
From a public building? Or just in general? Because there's no really, at least in Texas, there's no there's no delineation.
He specified public building, and based on a lot of the case law that I've read and I've looked at, there is no secondary charge that needs to be put in place. If you're on public property and you're not authorized to be there, you can be trespassed simply for being there. You don't have to be necessarily making a scene to be trespassed from it. But
yeah, I think the easiest way to look at that is like homeless, right? Like if that was the case, then a homeless could just sleep there all day. And while that might fly in California, it doesn't really fly in other states. So
well, it didn't fly in Michigan, which is where he's from, and which is where I pointed out to a case law where Detroit owned apparently a building that was scheduled to be demolished. A group of people went inside, cleaned it up, and tried to live in there. And
no name or something.
yeah, I guess. And then they were trespassed, and the only thing they were charged with was trespass, and it was upheld. But I digress.
Okay. That's it, and documenting my experience to disseminate to the public. That's all, peacefully. Okay. No issues. This is a public building. These are public areas of the building.
All right. The supervisor gave Reyes a complaint form to fill out, which he did.
Civilian complaint against the police employee.
Then Reyes continued his work, filming inside publicly accessible areas of the building and filing Freedom of Information requests, including one in front of another government employee who doesn't like cameras.
Sir, you work for the public. I don't need your permission. I'm just here gathering content for a story. There's nothing nefarious going on here. I just want to conduct my business.
If I was him, I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm here trying to file a FOIA request.
There's cameras all over the place. I didn't give you permission to film me.
That's for the safety.
It's for I try to tell people that it's for security purposes.
You can't just like in a police report. I can't say for officer safety X, Y, and Z. I mean, it happens all the time. Officers put that in reports, and it can't really. It's not good practice to say that. Like, you have to articulate why it's unsafe and why you still did what you did. So I see that in some police reports, and so I would say as an agency, we've gotten away from that as a whole because we teach that at the academy. But I'm sure in other agencies you'll see that. You'll see for officer safety X, Y, and Z, which you can put, but then you have to articulate what it is.
Well, what I'm referring to, what he's referring to, is like, he's there with the camera, and the guy in there, he's making the auditor is making the argument. Well, you guys have cameras all over the building. That are on you inside the building all the time. And the guy says, well, that's for security purposes. I'm making the distinction that they consented to being video recorded from the security cameras, and that's for a specific purpose, versus what you're doing. It's a little bit different because you're planning on probably disseminating this to the public. Whether or not you could still film them is a separate issue, but I'm just making the distinction as why they might be okay with security cameras versus maybe not being so much okay with some random guy recording them.
But couldn't you just FOIA request the security cameras?
Not New Jersey. I don't know about New York.
Okay, I'm just curious. All right.
Okay, so this is for my safety.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? Exactly. The argument goes both ways.
The town refused to accept a complaint about the obnoxious, misguided woman chewing gum.
Public building. This is you're talking about for commercial film. Again, you need education. Go get the town attorney, please.
As for Officer Califf, police said his actions are under review.
Some complaints? Don't touch my phone.
Turn it off.
I have a body camera on too. Don't touch my phone.
As Long Island Audit pointed out, for the police and
oh God, this is no wonder I recognize the voice. He's such a douchebag.
Government staff in Orangetown, New York. This was a huge
kind of sounds like John Strassel.
Not only did they not respect constitutional
what without the mustache?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Rights, they also didn't seem to care very much about accountability. The fact is, if you are conducting business on government property, you have a right to film your actions in publicly accessible areas. That may be news in Orangetown, New York, and countless other towns across the United States, but our Constitution matters. The question is whether law enforcement and government employees embrace this themselves or are forced to do so because of public humiliation. I'm
David Schuster, that's the name. Yeah, he's a total tool, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
but
what I'll say is the auditor lost a lot of credibility because at one point he was like, the officer shoved me and assaulted. And it's like, no, you could say what he did and not have to embellish it for it to still be wrong.
Yeah.
But
I get it. I agree with you in that the officer definitely could have handled it much better, and the lady was acting certainly like a Karen. But I'm still not a fan of Mr. LIA. But notwithstanding.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah,
a
I
good
saw
video.
somebody in chat say something that I saw somebody in chat that was like, "Oh, it is a city ordinance," which it very might well be, but I want to see how it's broken down. If it's broken down to commercial like this guy said,
right,
which is usually the case.
But
yeah.
All right. Super chats. Angry Redhead $2 says Alex know Judge Kim. I don't know. I guess not.
Know that is. I need more context.
Yeah, you're gonna need to be a little bit more specific there. Auditor investigations are $5. LIA has decided to skip the middleman and announce he's suing the entire county for violating his rights. Wait, seriously? The entire county? Okay.
And there was much rejoicing.
Good luck with that one. Because I mean, he might be able to sue the officer, the department, the town, but I don't know about the entire county.
Yeah, stretch.
Cerebral Tackle, $5. An actual journalist has training in an education in journalism. See, but I don't usually use that argument because there are very, very, very shitty journalists who do have an education and background in journalism. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say that. My whole point is that these auditors aren't even doing the bare minimum. You know, they're just simply live streaming and recording and uploading themselves as being part of the story, or uploading entire 2-hour bits of footage without even bothering to edit any of the dead air. Like, that's where I'm coming from. They make themselves part of the story 99.999% of the time. And two, they don't do any follow-ups to their so-called story. Like, we don't even get to hear from them whether or not their complaints that they filed with the officers, whether they got any response or any updates or any feedback. They just make the threat that they're going to file the complaint, and that's it. They don't get it. They don't, when they pretend that they're doing the FOIL request, they don't let the audience know what they got in return.
For what?
Or for even for what it was. I'm just doing a FOIL request and we don't even know what there is. That's my point. That's why I don't consider them to be journalists, and I consider them more to be activists. Again,
sure.
Nothing wrong.
And I think that's
nothing wrong with being an activist, but just be honest about what you're doing. That's all I ask for. Wonder 528. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Intelligent commentary about human stupidity. I mean, it was just a bad time all around by most of the parties involved. I think the supervisor was probably the most, and the second officer on scene was probably the most even keeled out of all of them.
I like the supervisor. He brought the notepad out. I mean, he was serious about that complaint. He put on a show. That's for sure. Good for him. Right.
Akira 808 State, $4.99. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Fraudsters never learn. Thank you, Akira. Kivy, Texas, $4.99. Alex, who was more obnoxious last night, Niners fans or Cowboys fans?
The guy that was shooting the gun in the air to celebrate was a Cowboys fan. So I'm gonna have to go with Cowboys fan.
Wait, to celebrate?
The night they were throwing. Yeah, I don't know. I think they brought fireworks to launch them at the end of the night, regardless. And they were all Cowboys fans. So I'd have to say, from a police standpoint, they were the most obnoxious.
Fair enough. Raybot1, $20 Australian. Can you give a breakdown of the various types of law enforcement in the U.S., police, sheriffs, etc., and any differences in their jurisdiction? Here in Australia, we only have state and territory police and federal police. Love your work.
Yeah. So sheriffs are county. At least I'm going on Texas, right? So, and I would say that generally this is probably true across the country, but sheriffs have county jurisdiction and they're elected officials. So because of that, they set their own training standards. Of course, it has to meet the minimum by the state, but sheriffs will set the training standards, and they will police the entire county. The sheriff's also responsible for the jail, the county jail. So to differentiate, like if you go for what we consider a county charge, and a county charge is anything above a level C. So a level C is a ticket in Texas. So they're responsible for housing the jail in between the county courts, which do all the cases for basically everything except tickets. They're responsible for it. And what I've seen is it's a little bit, and I know someone's going to hate me for saying this, but I would say generally, and this is not true across the country, but I will say generally, you'll see sheriff's departments are a little bit more cowboy, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but They are run by an elected official, whereas cities are run by appointed officials, like being the police chief, who are and then by the city manager, who's elected by city council. Right, everyone's got a boss. But I typically I see that more often. Like when you see cool uniforms, sweet cars and guns and low pay, it's like a sheriff, right? So I'm probably gonna get in a lot of trouble for saying that. But in cities, I think because of the more urban environment, there's a lot more liability. And so where I work, the police academy is almost a year long. I think it's 11 and a half months, which is really long. Whereas sheriff's departments really have an incentive of getting guys out on the streets sooner, which we do too. Don't get me wrong, but that I hate to knock on them. There's no knock on them. I would totally work for a sheriff's department, and there are some really, really good ones. But to differentiate, that's who it is. Now, does a sheriff's officer have jurisdiction in the city? Yes, they do, but they want no part of it. Like they don't want any part of it. But can a sheriff's officer make an arrest in my city? Yeah, they can. And I can arrest in my county, depending on the type of offense, and I can arrest anywhere in Texas depending on the offense.
Right.
So yeah, there's a little bit. Hopefully that explains it.
I mean, that is fair, and I think that's generally true for most sheriffs across the 50 states. However, I do want to note one of the outliers, and some sovereign citizens I learned the hard way about this, because sovereign. I don't know if you know about this, Alex, but a lot of sovereign citizens hold sheriffs in a far higher regard than local PD. It kind of goes back to their the old school origins of the posse comitatus type of stuff.
Shire reefs.
The Shire reefs of the old school English common law origin. But they always hold the sheriffs as the constitutional officer that have such greater powers apparently than the local PD. But one sovereign citizen learned the hard way, but that's not the case in Connecticut. In Connecticut, sheriffs, if there are any in the county, they're nothing more than process servers. Like that's their only duties.
Okay,
they have no enforcement powers, no arresting powers whatsoever. They are simply process servers.
So in Texas, we have constables.
Yeah.
So those are but they have police power. So a constable can still arrest you, but that's what they do. They work the courts.
Yeah. I think Texas and maybe I think one or two other states are the only ones that still have constables. I'm not sure, but yeah, I know Connecticut is one of the those rare few states where their sheriffs are neutered by comparison to any other department, because in Jersey, the county sheriffs have the same powers that you mentioned. They handle the jails, they provide security for the courthouses, and they still have arresting powers as well.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of benefit. I think there's a lot of benefit to sheriffs. They can cut a lot of the red BS tape that cities have. But on the flip side of that coin, cities had that red tape for a reason. So I'm a big fan of sheriffs. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get that misunderstood in chat or anything like that. But there is a difference for sure.
Tones overthinks it. Thank you for the $5 for Alex. Be honest, do you think an unemployed, arrogant egotist who behaves like this has any business lecturing you on how to do your job? I think he's referring to Long Island audits.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, trust me, the guy's a loser, right? But I think as police officers, especially in this age of policing that we're in right now, we have to be better at our job, and we have to really understand our roles, because the old school way of policing isn't going to work in modern times. And what I mean is that today we have cameras, we have people who challenge our authority. We're held to a much higher standard because of those cameras. So if you're going to make threats and stuff like that, you better know your law, and you better understand that when people are mad at you, when people get upset, they're not upset at you, the person. They don't know you. They're upset about the badge, the government that you represent. So I want us as police to be better at the job. And I understand how frustrating that is. from the police side of things. And yeah, these guys are absolute losers. Get alive. But at the same time, I think we should be doing better. We should know case law a little bit better. We should know arrest search procedure better. But the reality of it is you get a 2-week training in the academy, a week of it, you get some reality-based training, then maybe you get FTO, a field training period, and then you're out on the streets by yourself. So, it's this job is not easy. It takes a long time to really get good at it, and we got to do better.
Right. We can talk about how much these guys are a bunch of arrogant pricks that don't treat people anybody with respect, and we can be mad about it. The sad part is that they're not going to go away. They're always going to be there.
Well, and I think, but actually, I don't know. I think they'll go away when we get better. I'll tell you that we don't get that many where I work because we've gotten really good at handling them, and then we don't create content, right? How boring is it if we let you go about your business, you do your stupid FOIA request, and then you leave, and nobody bothers you, nobody cares.
I think
that we have
true. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say we have that kind of strategy where I work for protests, right? So for a lot of our protests, and I'll tell you right now, officers were mad. Officers were really mad. Like, yo, why are we letting them do this? Well, because if we let them do it, we let them vent a little bit, so to speak. As long as they're not destroying damage, let me get that straight. We're in Texas. You're not going to destroy stuff. But as long as they're not destroying anything, if they want to take over a street or an intersection, yell and scream and expect a response out of us, they're not going to get it.
Right.
And you know what they do? They go to Fort Worth, they go to Dallas, they go up north, they go to other cities that will try to get a reaction out of the police.
Which is what a lot of these guys do. They go cross country.
Which is what they want. It makes the news. It's what they want.
Well,
so
on that note, that's actually a perfect segue. I just remembered this other video that I wanted to showcase. I just remembered it. I downloaded it, so I have it up ready for us. So we're gonna get through the rest of these super chats, and we can watch that. And that might be the last video we have, but I think it's a good one to segue into. Some old dude, thank you very much for the $10. Security camera footage is not usually uploaded to the internet. Some places do not store security footage for very long either. Yes, that's true. True on both counts. Security footage, I think in New Jersey, based on our retention schedule, is 30 days, 30 or 45 days.
Is that like a rule? Like, I mean, what if your memory only lasts a week and your DVR? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the New Jersey's retention schedule, which is by law, set by records administration. Yeah.
Okay.
Auditor investigations, $5. Sorry, I meant the entire country. Intended it as a joke. Wait, what?
I missed that. Come back.
Oh, suing the entire country for violating his rights. Oh, I thought you said county. You said country. Okay, there we go. It meant it as a joke. Gotcha.
Corrections 101. I'll talk about that. Say.
Keeping it criminal, $5. Love me, Arty Sama and Bizarro Arty-san. Buddy cops. Hashtag ooh. Hashtag Bizarro. Arty is best. I guess you're Bizarro Arty. Okay. I don't know how to translate that.
I'll take it. All right.
Oh, fuck you, Nathan. $5 from Nathan. Question for both of you: has your training prepared you for the disappointment of being a Cowboys fan? No.
Yes, it has.
For you, it has, because you get to go. You go to the games.
Training.
Yeah. Post-event therapy. Like Akira 808 State $4.99. What's the legality regarding the playing of copyrighted music during a frauditor video? Have you experienced that yet, or heard about that yet? Where there is it's unofficial as far as I know, but it's a new tactic or counter that some city officials and or police, when they're being confronted by what they know to be an auditor, they'll start playing copyrighted music for the sole purpose of demonetizing whatever video they upload onto YouTube.
Oh, you know what? That is actually a very unique strategy. I don't know anything about it. Is that what they're doing? Is that the cops are doing?
It's some police have done it already. I think a Berkeley officer and another officer in California. He started playing like Rolling Stones or the Beatles or something like that, and which for those ones they go really hard on the YouTube DMCA strikes, and that's apparently a new strategy when dealing with somebody who they know for a fact is like an auditor, and like they know that they're.
I think that's great. I think that's intelligent. I think that's an excellent way to handle it, because at the end of the day, you could still work the call in a legal and reasonable manner, and then you stop him from playing his stupid games.
Yeah,
I don't have any problem with that.
I initially had an issue with it, but now I don't, because ultimately you can still upload the video. You just can't make money off of it, which ultimately is one of the motivating factors for doing this shit. So.
Right, you just stop the monetization process.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the legality, it's not illegal. I mean, somebody somewhere may make it a policy not to do that, but it's not illegal inherently for an officer to do that.
I don't know how that you're gonna stop. I don't see that happening. Because if I want to, no, I don't know. I don't see that happening. That's an interesting tactic. I didn't think about that.
Ed2276, First Amendment law, $5. What's the legality of fraudsters using video of people who don't consent to being recorded to make money? Generally speaking, if they're in a public place, it's perfectly legal. However, YouTube does now have because I think of Europe had somewhere in Europe they had some issue with privacy law. So YouTube implemented a privacy takedown where you can actually say, hey, this person has me recorded for without my consent, and YouTube will actually require the creator to either blur that person's face or have to edit out that part of the video. So on the legality side, if they're in public, they're going to be recorded. And so there's no issue with that in the United States, at least. But if people find out that the video in question is on YouTube, YouTube does have a tool now that can get that person to either edit them out or blur their face, which, I mean, may not do much, but it'll still frustrate the auditor.
Yeah, and in Texas, we're a single party state, so I mean, it's even good luck with that. So.
Oh, I didn't realize Texas was a one party state.
Oh yeah, we're a one party state. So is New Jersey a dual party state?
New Jersey a two party state.
Of course they are. You got all the mobsters over there. But makes sense.
No, I'm sorry. My bad. No, New Jersey is actually a one party state. I'm sorry. I corrected myself.
Okay.
And some will do. Thank you for the $10. The difference between fraudsters and security cams, and then some will do run again for $5. Ignore my last message. All right, fair enough. But thank you very much for the for the super chats, man. All right, so we got this one. I think you guys, my audience, knows this video, but the reason I put that there is because of what you were saying. Your general, the general idea, the general theme, as a supervisor and as a teacher is, being better. And I think that what we see here is an example of an officer being better, and being faced with one of the more obnoxious auditors of the community. And I think you will see that based on the bystanders' reaction to what's happening here. So let me get that shared up. Oop, share.
Florida's a two-party state? Get out of here.
Yes, Florida is a two-party state.
Wow. All the mobsters go to Florida for vacation.
Provide community policing. You get that? Provide community policing. You get that?
You have audio yet?
Are you not able to hear it? Uh-oh. Oh, gosh darn it. 1 second
ID and mask refusal in California by cameraman refusing. Okay.
What the hell? Let me try this again.
I like his police mask he's got going. That's pretty sweet. Wonder if I can get one of those. Very high speed. Oh, it says we hear it. I heard it. Oh no. Okay, they heard it. I didn't hear it. So if they heard it, cool. I don't know. I have to maybe pop the audio on the feed here.
I'll search. Give me 1 second and let me just search for it on his channel. I downloaded it thinking that it'd be better quality, but unfortunately, I think apparently Google Meet only likes it when you when it comes to audio, only likes it when you're sharing a tab from Chrome. So let me go. And I know where it is, so it's not going to be too much of a search. Because
Google and the corporate fat cats, man.
Yeah. Because the person's channel is Anselmo Morales. He's unfortunately Puerto Rican, so it's embarrassing for us. But he's also a convicted domestic abuser. My understanding is so. He's a very nice character.
Yes, Google is YouTube and YouTube is Google. Yes, corporate fat cats all align to make this not work.
Indeed. What was the name? I can actually search his channel.
This is exactly why Arty's in law, not IT. And same with me. I'm not great with it. Our first stream ever, my computer crashed like seconds before the stream started live. So that tells you about my experience with streams.
But here we go. Found it. All right, let's share it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. So while it's starting up and while it's playing, what's the context of this officer contact? Do you know?
My understanding is that he is currently on a lunch break and is just watching a chess game between civilians.
Okay.
How's it going, officer?
I'd argue that he doesn't need to be on a lunch break to do that, but go ahead.
How are you doing? Bless as well. Thank you so much for protecting our rights and the citizens in Los Angeles. Thank you. What am I doing? I'm making sure he stands up for the Constitution and for freedom, and he respects the citizens of Los Angeles.
When is that gonna end?
When is what gonna end?
How long is it gonna take to finish up?
Well, we've been fighting for freedom for a long time. So
when are you gonna leave?
I've had people yell at auditors just like this before.
Oh, really?
Well, I could. I'm not putting you on video though. I'm recording it. Why are you asking me to stop?
They're very sensitive when you're filming in public and within their personal space. It becomes very personal to them.
Specifically, can you tell me how can I get my own personal space in the public area?
You should go over there.
I'm talking to him now.
There you go.
Could you, instead of telling that to me, could you explain to her that we have freedom of the press and that we have the right to... Have I harassed you, officer? In any way? Have I disrespected you?
No,
you have not. However, they're concerned that you may be going above and beyond.
I'm concerned what you're doing here right now, watching a chess game.
This is not your chess game. This is their chess game, and they're having fun. And every now and then I'll come by and just check on them, make sure they're okay.
Oh, that's what you do?
You got that on video?
That's what you do?
You got that on video?
Do you have to know that?
Must be nice. You come over here and play chess. That's what you do.
Come over here.
What do you do?
Provide community policing. Do you get that?
There you go.
We don't need you
That's
here
the
right
right
now.
answer. I'd say he does not need to be on a lunch break to do
right
that. That's part of his job description, in my opinion.
Please, right. I'm not trying to speak to you. He's the one. He's the one that's working for the public.
To engage
You can do as you please. You can do as you please. I don't care. I don't care what you do.
He's got the time today. It looks like.
I don't care what you do. Just don't worry about me.
Just be aware. Like I said.
You're in my area, my space.
This is all of our area. Am I wrong?
Hi.
Oh, there you go. We have thousands watching, so if you want to be in front.
No, he doesn't have thousands watching. I'm fairly certain. Well, he has 227,000 subscribers, and I think he's live right now, and I have less than 9,000 subscribers, and we have triple the live viewers right now. So I think that should say something about his viewer engagement or subscriber engagement.
In front of the camera, it's okay.
He ain't doing no wrong. Leave him alone.
No, I'm just making sure he stays professional.
You
and
done
courteous.
that. Go away.
No, you go away. You see, guys, the First Amendment.
Arguably,
The First Amendment is.
I would say that sergeant's community policing tactics have worked in this instance. You see the community covering for him.
It gets better.
At this point,
it does actually get better.
Is the
Yeah,
first
that's a
article
testament to that sergeant's relationship that he has with that community. So that's good. That's good.
Completely agree. Yeah, and we're gonna see more of it because, oh yeah, it gets better.
The job of police officers. They're supposed to protect freedom of the press and freedom of speech and freedom to peacefully assemble and
More he
freedom
talks,
of
the
religion.
crazier he sounds.
You want to believe that your God is a monkey or a horse? Come to America.
What?
You have the freedom to do that here. This
Okay, you could barely hear what the guy off the corner is saying. He says something to the effect of, "You're gonna get your ass whooped."
Well, I'm all about peace and love, sir, so I would never get. But no, I would never disrespect any of you.
I'm OG. I'll get down in front of the police.
That's funny.
And now people are like, all right, the bystanders, because there's two guys playing chess, and they have like an audience of 3 other guys. The guy who was talking is one of the spectators, and obviously they're now getting annoyed by Anselmo just talking while they're playing the game. And yeah, here we go.
At some point, the sergeant does have to de-escalate this,
which he's about to. He's gonna try.
I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I would probably just walk away, but I don't know. Let's see. What he
It's
does.
okay. I'm just. I understand, bro. Look, bro. I'm a YouTuber. I'm filming the police. I'm not here
Oh,
to
that's
film
not gonna
you
help
guys
your
or
argument,
engage with
bro.
you guys in any way.
Apparently, they're agitated by your actions.
Oh, agitated.
They're agitated by your actions.
But
They would like you to leave.
what's my action? What's my action? Let me talk to you. Look. How about?
I'm just telling you how the people feel on the street about your actions.
Are you the feelings police, or the law enforcement?
I'm trying to help you out because if I leave, they may do a little something.
Oh, really? They may do a little
So
something.
that's why I'm standing by to protect
I've done
you.
nothing but help the community more than anyone else around here. I've done trash pickups.
No, he's not.
I've done a lot of stuff for this community.
That's
So
your statement. They haven't seen that, but okay.
that's fine.
It's true.
You can find us on the internet. We have millions of views, bro. We
I'm
legit.
glad.
So you stay professional, officer.
I'm saying professional. Like I said, these people are agitated by your actions. They
Why
don't
are
want
you
here.
focusing on their feelings? What about the law? These people are agitated. Are you trying to say that I'm disturbing the peace or something? Is that what you're heading to?
Actually.
I mean, you're getting there.
I would argue that there is an offense where it's typically around gestures that could provoke a fight. Is recording a gesture? I don't know, man.
I don't think so. I would say no. I would say I would say no. But he won't shut the hell up and let them play their game, and he's just proselytizing, saying what talking about. Yeah.
You're peaceful.
Me
You're
too.
disturbing them.
No, I'm not. Specifically, how am I disturbing? By video recording? By speaking?
By not shutting by not shutting.
Right?
What's the First Amendment about?
So, like
What's the First Amendment about, Sergeant?
Like I said, sir, I'm just trying to protect you. They're agitated by
They
your
need
actions.
they need to focus on their game, and me and you need to focus over shit. Oh.
No, I don't disagree.
That's fine. I'm not. No.
I'm trying to concentrate on my
Look, bro.
game.
I'm not trying to be in trouble with you. No, bro.
Can you be quiet, though?
Yeah. I'll let you. I'll respect your game, bro. I respect your game, bro. I respect his game.
You say you respected the game, but you still run into your fucking mouth.
You know what's funny? I bet if that officer turned around and walked away, that dude would just go, "Oh shit!"
Oh, I absolutely believe it, hands down, that this entire engagement, there's about about 5 minutes left. This entire engagement, that officer is the only thing standing between him and getting his ass whooped by one or more of these people.
Yeah, he's
Come
really
on, let's
nice.
talk over here. You have no business here. Come on, let's go.
Now he's just now he, yeah. Now he's and now you see the cop having that reaction. Excuse me.
He has no business.
I have no business here?
No, you're supposed to be at
telling
work.
me what your First Amendment right is, and you telling me I'm the police, protect the public and serve, and I have no business here.
You don't have to be here watching people playing games.
Get it right, sir.
You get it right. We're going to go ahead and leave now, but your job is not to stand there watching people play games.
Okay.
Being a police officer is not a game.
Have a good day.
You too. It's true. He's supposed to respect, go to work. Well, if he's on his lunch break, it's different. Then that's different. He needs to say that.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He's at work, bro.
Actually, I would argue that that's not his lunch break.
And even the guys there, it's like he doesn't need to say shit to you.
Yeah.
Which again,
he's at work, bro. He's at work. It's the truth.
The police, not you guys. So get over it.
okay, all right, get ready for this because now this guy is trying to act all hard and.
Get over it.
We're not against you in any way.
I don't think they can.
We're not.
We're filming you.
Look, relax, OG. Nobody's disrespecting.
I'm just telling you, protect you and protect your phone.
One thing came out of his motherfucking mouth. You should have never
Watch his phone shaking like a leaf.
Pass it back.
We said you got if you want to.
We're not trying to disrespect y'all in
It'd be funny
any
if that
way,
cop
bro.
just gets in the car and just
Why
speeds
you
off.
starting trouble with us, bro? The police that never helped no black people around here.
All right, and now when he says that line, now he has this dude.
What? Oh, so you're gonna hit me?
Oh
out
shit!
For doing no disrespect you, bro.
He can't concentrate. Hope you got this on video. He can't concentrate because you're interfering by you running your mouth. So just go outside.
See, that cop just saved his
Very
ass.
simple.
He's actually very nice.
I see you're an expert de-escalating.
I mean, he kind of did.
You're an expert
I
de-escalating.
hate that so much because the reality of this whole video, the reality of this whole situation, he's choosing to escalate. Like,
yeah.
Don't tell the cop he's not de-escalating when your only stated goal is to escalate. You came there to escalate. You came there to antagonize. Like, if don't bring up this de-escalation nonsense. Like, that's all he's been doing from the get-go. If you wanted to escalate the situation, really, in my opinion, I would just drive off and let you get your ass beat. And then make the block and be like, who, what? Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, no way. He did what to you?
Oh no, I can't find any witness statements.
Yeah, it's like, he's being very nice by being there and
right.
He's doing a good job.
Thomas, we'll talk to you later, Thomas. You're interfering with my First Amendment.
He's helping another pedestrian give directions.
Huh?
And in true auditor fashion, oh yeah, I forgot about this. In true auditor fashion, that's literally the end of the video. And in order to make the YouTube make that extra ad revenue, the rest of the video, all 4 minutes remaining, is nothing but this outro. And he did that just so he can have at least one more ad on the video.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. The video basically ends at 8:13. The end of the video is 11 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know anything about YouTube.
Yeah, that
watch videos.
But yeah, that's the whole purpose of why he has a 3.5 minute outro, is just so he can have one extra video on there. But my thing is that the officer was excellent. He didn't take the bait. He did everything to de-escalate, and the fact that he had the backing of everybody there, including some individuals who may or may not have the cleanest record on them, and for them to be having his back says a lot about the conduct of the officer in question, and it just made the auditor look like a fool.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I teach community policing. We call it professional policing. I teach that class, and I would actually demonstrate this as like an example. This video would be an excellent example of how your community policing skills, and him going to that, because it didn't seem like that was the first time he'd been there. It seemed like those relationships that he built, even hanging out, watching them play chess, that those relationships really helped him, and he became the protagonist. because very easily you can be in a situation like that where the crowd is sympathetic to the agitator, and next thing you know, you're surrounded.
Right.
I've been in those situations, and they are scary, and you don't want to be alone with 7-8 people screaming at you, upset. So, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that that was something I thought about, and I definitely wanted to showcase for it. So, just real quick with the super chats. This is why Arty is in law and not IT work. Yeah, I know. You guys should be used to these technical issues by now. I don't need to say it, so leave me alone.
We'll get better. We got to get better. We got to get better.
Of course. I mean, we could always get better. We can always get better. I just forgot that Google doesn't play. The Google Meets doesn't play nice when you're sharing an application window versus a tab. And some will do. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. Again, thank you for your support. Google and the Corporate Fat Cats is a cool brand. Is a cool cool band name. Yeah. I think this might be out. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes away from the 2-hour mark, so we can probably wrap it up. And I want to thank you guys again for all your support.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'm probably not gonna do this next week. We'll probably make this a bi-weekly thing. But that minds can change. And I think what we can do next week or the next time we come on is maybe have something more targeted. Like if you want to think of something like a specific topic, like say, for example, I would love for us to take a look at some interrogations that I've seen before by detectives. I know you haven't done. I don't think you've done detective work or interrogations or anything. Oh, you have. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I tore my ACL, I was in a detective for 6 months of my career. It was horrible, to be honest. What you see in those, the interviews on cases that matter, like homicide, or if you're working a felony, like mine, for instance, was a felony burglary case where I got the suspect to admit that he did it. That stuff, very cool. The reality of it is like just triaging stupid crap. Right. I have no interest in that whatsoever. So it's not as glamorous as the streets.
Right.
For sure.
No. But there was a channel. My understanding is that his channel may or may not have been taken down. I hope that's not the case. But it's called JCS, like psychology or criminal psychology, and it's all interrogation of video footage of interrogations of some infamous cases like Casey Anthony, Dalia DiPolito, Jody Arias, like some pretty well-known cases out there that are pretty fascinating, and I think that we'd have some fun taking a look at those.
We can do that, and I don't mind going over videos or reaction videos. I do like the ones where I haven't seen them. I like doing those and kind of following them with your audience. I know I said I would talk about the Dallas the situation where Dallas PD blew up that dude with a drone.
Yeah.
With the robot. And I will say that they criminalized state law. It's a new law where they criminalize in Texas the use of a drone for lethal force. We've never done it. Nobody's ever done it in Texas, but they preemptively said, you guys cannot do that.
Just in case.
I would argue, but I hate that because I think it's stupid, because at the end of the day, like, we don't know what kind of situation we face. I don't think we knew that in the 2016, I think it's January 1st, January 3rd, when those officers were killed in downtown Dallas, we knew that we were going to strap C4 to a robot and kill them. But what I'll say is, in one of my trainings, I had the negotiator debrief us on that call. He actually played the recording, because he actually hit record on his cell phone and was recording the negotiations on his cell phone while he was working it, and we got to hear some of that stuff in it. From a training standpoint, it's very, very cool.
Right.
So if we want to talk about topics like that, sure, we could do that. I like the reaction stuff, so I think we'll do a mix of a couple things, maybe videos I've seen, but videos I haven't seen I like doing, and
gotcha.
Whatever chat wants to do, I don't mind doing that.
Right on. Okay. So at least we got that to think about and have squared away. Oh, I think somebody asked, Alex, I've done my ACL. Is your knee better now as I'm waiting for surgery?
Oh, so I've had 2 ACL surgeries. It definitely, because I almost a year to the day, I blew my first ACL surgery out. Yes, it is better. I mean, my ACL surgery was back in 2014, the last one. And I'm 100% now. I don't have the full range of motion. Like I can't touch my heel to my butt, but yeah, for the most part, I don't feel restricted by it at all, but it took a lot of rehab.
Right.
Be patient with it would be my advice.
I know. I remember that happened
I got
over
the
your
last
saga.
laugh, though. Yeah, I tore the ACL, for the second time, but that guy that I was chasing a guy. I jumped the fence. I got the last laugh. He ended up getting murdered in a dope rip. It wasn't me, but
So
it's called karma, dude.
Well, take that.
Take
you.
that.
And real quick, Deacon asks, have you played LA Noire?
Yeah. Years ago. Actually,
I
I
know.
played it like
It was on PS3. Yeah, I think it was on PS3 back then.
I played it. Isn't it the one where it's like
The
F
facial
for
expressions.
respect? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I did play that. I loved it, but I was not really great at it. I remember like looking at like the walkthroughs online and like cheating, but I love that game because I like that whole noir, that still LA style policing thing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's where the X to doubt meme comes from. Yeah,
that's what it is.
It was good. And I loved it too. It's been a long time since I played though. I might have to open it up again. Who knows?
Nerds for sure.
And last super chat or Doug Donahue. Sorry. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Thank you, Doug, for being a member to both my channels. I appreciate that. You became a member
Doug's
of my
the
gaming
man.
channel. Thank you,
Doug's
man.
the man.
At least you didn't have to parry the stream. Yeah, thank you. For referencing Demon Souls right there. Yeah, thank you very much, Doug. And Patricia Gallant, thank you for the $4.99. I love the input from you both. It's great. I appreciate that.
Thank
We
you.
both appreciate that.
Yeah, I love skulls. Chat, skulls pretty cool. So there's skulls. I think I've got skulls all over. Like,
You have skulls and Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda's just. I thought my dog would like to sleep on him, but she doesn't.
Oh,
she doesn't care.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out to watch us. Appreciate all the support. We'll definitely be seeing each other again either next week or the week after. And we hope to have a more streamlined thing. We worked on it. We're better than last week. And we're always getting better. So thank you guys. Have a good night. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Good night, guys. Thanks.
A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine for my bitch a choose it.